Traders, loosen up! Today's chart is the perfect combination of fear, manipulation, and hidden opportunity. We've got a bearish FOMC pattern, glowing red, smacking us in the face, macro news that just changed everything, and Bitcoin coiling in a structure that could trap half the market before the real move begins. After watching this entire video, you'll know exactly what's noise and what's truly beneath it. Let's go! Let's start with the reality no one wants to hear. Every FOMC rate cut this year has done the same thing. Green box, calm before the meeting. Red box, swift range expansion and weakness. We saw this in September. We saw this in November. And now December has joined the pattern with another 25 basis point cut. This chart, short term, it's bearish. It's always after a rate cut. But don't get fooled, because what comes next completely changes the story. And while Bitcoin reacted to the Fed, the rest of the crypto world dropped these three massive headlines that tell us exactly where this market's going. First, Coinbase just announced something huge. They will allow users to trade every Solana token through a decentralized exchange with zero listing requirements. That means instant access, no gatekeeping, no waiting for approvals. Take a listen to this.
Millions of assets are launching on-chain every day. And we think that these should be accessible to all of our users. To enable this, we rolled out DEX trading on Coinbase.
Man, I can give this guy a few lessons with presentations. And dude, you need to wear like a jacket or something. Lose the t-shirt, man, and look a little more professional. Come on, man, let's go!
The same easy-to-use interface and app you may already be familiar with now allows you to trade any token on Solana. For our users, this means they get early access to millions of tokens, and they can trade these assets the moment they become available on-chain.
I like how he calls them assets. Okay, yeah, right. Meme coins, assets. Okay, bro, thanks. Thanks for the assets.
For issuers and builders, if your token has sufficient liquidity, this means you can be accessible to the millions of users on Coinbase without getting listed.
Great.
So, we're really proud to bridge these worlds together for users and builders alike.
All right, bro. Get yourself a t-shirt, get yourself a jacket or something, like a blazer or something, man, and fix your hair. All right, anyway, but Coinbase is quietly merging the convenience of a centralized exchange with the freedom of a decentralized exchange. This is a major step toward the future of hybrid exchanges. And then it gets crazier. A new ETF filing just appeared, a fund that only holds Bitcoin at night. They buy when the US market closes, they sell when it opens, because US markets open 6.5 hours. Crypto moves more in the other 17.5 hours. In theory, the ETF captures the most movement within Bitcoin's global cycle. In practice, selling and buying 100% of assets every day could create insane slippage. This ETF is either genius or complete chaos. This also shows one thing. Anyone can open up an ETF. They should call them meme ETFs while they're at it. And then, Bitwise's Max Hogan goes on record answering, is Solana prepared today for the $68 trillion equities market to move on chain? The response from Max?
Want to be ready?
I think we're ready today. It's a blockchain. It's permissionless. You can build whatever you want. If it doesn't have the thing that you want today, you can go and build it, because it's a blockchain. You can write your own program and it can do whatever you want.
This is not hype. This is one of the largest crypto asset managers in the US asking about the future of stocks, bonds, and ETFs will run on chain. And Solana is at the forefront of that transition. So while the FOMC chart looks bearish, the industry is accelerating. Coinbase goes DEX. A night-only Bitcoin ETF launches. I mean, imagine that. Bitwise prepares for trillions to go on-chain. This is not a slow market. This is a transformation. And these type of fundamental catalysts, which go on in the background, often go unnoticed because traders and investors are always looking for what's right in front of them. But a lot of times it takes some time for it to brew in the background. And next thing you know, some kind of news event sparks the rally. But the thing is, it was developing all along. You have to pay attention to those type of developments. Now, zoom out. Every single weekly golden cross in this cycle delivered a massive rally. 87%, 47%, 78%, 33%. And now we're forming another golden cross, as you can see right here. This is one of the strongest macro signals in Bitcoin's playbook. Even if the short term looks a little shaky, as you can see here, the pullback, which gets everyone all, excited and scared. The higher time frame is still pointing up. It is simply a higher low if it holds. That's a very important point here. These golden crosses, which is nothing more than a moving average crossover, can at least give you a good guide or roadmap and helps you to anticipate what is likely to come. It increases the chances that this thing is likely to work its way higher. Let's talk manipulation, because this chart exposes the trap. If Bitcoin pulls into this red fear box, it's not over. It's the shakeout zone. It's where retail panics and institutions accumulate. It's where you go onto Twitter and you see all of these people talking about this thing's going to zero and all that other stuff, and then you get shaken out, or worse, you get short, and you're shorting right into a major area that is likely to reverse. This is why it is so important to pay attention to the bigger picture. This is the buy the fear moment, not financial advice, just pure market psychology. If Bitcoin pulls back lower, I've got you covered. This is exactly where the market reloads. I talk about these type of formations all the time, right? Just bigger picture. We get a low, look for a failed low. Again, it's never precise. It's messy, but what you have to do is wait for the confirmations and wait for the bigger picture to play out. It requires patience. Often in these type of investment opportunity areas, it's possible to accumulate small size. You take small bites. Also, this is a time when you consider altcoins before everyone is calling altcoin season. It's when everyone hates these things, right? That is the time to quietly accumulate, not when it's pushing 120, not when it's pushing 126. Again, there's no guarantee it can get there, but there are so many factors aligning, and these type of opportunities don't come around very often. It's, can you take the risk? Are you prepared to take the risk? It's all about how much risk you can take. Before Bitcoin could even reach that deeper support zone, it has to break through multiple layers of support. Look at this ascending triangle. Higher lows squeezing price upward. You can see that demonstrated by the higher low over here. And then you have this failed low region over here inside the supply zone. You have other higher lows in here, minor support area here, and price just refuses to break through. We have a flat resistance up in here at the 94, 93, 94K area. We also have this compression that's developing inside the converging trend lines. Buyers are stepping in early. This is not a bearish structure. That is the key takeaway here. Now, I know it can be confusing at times, and you can say, well, yeah, it is a bearish structure because you have lower highs. It looks like a lower high bearish structure on the onset, but like I said before, you have to take your Captain Obvious hats off. This is not bearish because this is a tight coil that usually breaks higher in light of the bigger picture. You have to pay attention to the bigger picture, and we emphasize that a lot here in these videos. Now, if price wants to break, if it really wants to collapse, the confirmation comes when it clears the entire structure, and that's characterized by this low right here, the bottom of the entire structure. That needs to be cleared, right? And that level, that's around the 80K area. So it needs to clear with conviction. It can't just tap it and then reverse back up. We're talking about it must compromise the entire structure, and right now, it's not even close. So if it goes the other way and it breaks the upper trend line instead, understand that half of the population in this structure is long, the other half is short. Those shorts, that's who gets squeezed, and that's what creates the momentum that does something like this. And on top, when that breakout occurs, if the market can prove itself in that way, then we're looking at the test of the 95K, right? 95K break. Then you're looking at 100K. 100K is on the horizon in that scenario. But remember, it all stems from confirmation. We can't just sit here and say, oh yeah, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. The market does whatever it wants to do. Our job is to look for confirmations and measure risk. And finally, the trader's playground. The 2-hour chart. It shows liquidity sweeps above the red box. Perfect short entries. It shows liquidity sweeps below the green box. Perfect long entries. Check that out. Check this out over here. Retests offering clean continuation plays and a neutral take profit zone right in the middle. It is clear as day. This is a range built by smart money. Short the sweep, long the sweep, avoid the middle. Simple, clean, controlled. If you want to trade these levels with the same tools that many analysts use, I've placed my BTCC and WeX links in the description. Use them if you want to support the channel so I can keep yelling at you. So here's the bigger picture. Short-term FOMC weakness? Yes. Macro golden cross strength? Absolutely. Industry adoption accelerating? Faster than ever. Manipulation? Of course. This is crypto. But when you zoom out and you connect the dots, this market is not slowing. It's preparing for the next phase. Stay focused, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one.